All right. Let's see, do we get sound in OBS? Yeah, it looks like we got sound from the microphone. Desktop. So I'm jumping straight in. I am back to working on multi-touch for this ESP32-S3 tablet. I've done a bit of tweaking off stream, but I wanted to hop on before I did too much. Main things I've done is make the circles bigger, and I'm starting just now to work on basically trying to hide the circles after you release the touch event. So if I reset this here, you look at the current state of it, it boots up here. It draws the circles when you touch on the screen. Let's see here. Bit more or something, or well, right now we're in a broken state, I guess. Yeah, so I got to get it back to a working state. But basically, it draws the circles when you touch, but then the circles will, follow the finger touches around. But when you let go, they stay there. They don't go away. So that's what I'm working on, is trying to make them go away. And it turns out I'm having to kind of add them to a group and use the group in order to make it work, because vector IO circles directly do not support hidden on that object directly right now. So maybe we'll add that to the core one day, and this will be easier. But right now, I am putting them in groups. I'm going to go through, put the groups inside this list. So it's actually going to say something like touch circle groups append. New empty group here. And I know I'm just jumping straight in to the middle of this, so my assumption is anybody who might be watching now has probably seen what I'm working on before. If that is not the case, though, feel free to ping me on in the old Twitch chat here, or I'll try to keep an eye on the Discord chat if somebody pings me over there as well. But I'm happy to explain a bit more about what we're working on, where we're at inside of it. But I'm kind of just diving straight back into last place I left off. I do still have work going on also, so if you hear hammering or power tools or something, that's work that's going on here at my house. Probably another couple of days, and then hopefully that'll be wrapped up. So that's what it is if you hear that stuff. Yeah, we'll try to keep the Twitch chat over here on that one as kind of the primary for now. So make a group, put it into this list, and then we can basically copy the, not copy, but we can put our circle inside of the group after we create the circle. Need to get the right one though, so this should actually be -1 here as well. So we add an empty group, and then we access the last one, which will be our newly added one from the line before. We append the circle to that group. We append that group to the main group so that it will show. And then later on, we'll be able to hide and show these touch circle groups. Hide and show the circles. So I was trying to just add a new field, I guess, onto the vector IO object, because I thought you could do that, but maybe I'm thinking JavaScript, I guess. I was thinking I could just add my own value to it, and it was going to be the group, and it would be the group that contains it, and it was kind of a weird pattern, but that's the first attempt I took, and it did not end up working. We're back to doing it in list, touch circle groups. That. Okay. Spell it wrong here. CIRCLE, is that the right spelling? Good at noticing misspellings. Sometimes I will typing a word out and spell it correctly, but then notice that my variable is incorrect. Circle groups, we're going to access the ID of the current touch, and we're going to call hidden false, which is going to make it so this one is going to get shown. And the IDs are basically based on based on the order of the touches. So like the first finger that touches is ID 0, the next finger is ID 1, and then 2, 3, 4, so on. If you release a finger, then that ID is like back, you know, like if you release one finger and then put another one down, even if it's a different finger, it will get the ID of that one you just released. And it becomes re-eligible for use after you release it. We access it, we make it false so that it shows. We add it to this don't hide list, which is the mechanism I'm using. Here we're looping over 0 to 4. We're going to say if it's not in the don't hide list, then hide it. So we'll say touch circle. Oh, I see what happened is the S there probably. Touch circle groups will access I. That's already the group. We can just say hidden true. So those will now get hidden essentially if they're not being touched. And then at the end of this loop, we are just going to empty back out the don't hide list. Or is there a better way to do this? I mean, this is allocating a new list. Should we say like remove all or something? Is there a better way to do it? Remove all. Up. Think it's any different? My only concern is this might be allocating a new list every time, and then eventually the old lists are getting garbage collected. I guess the old values are probably going to get garbage collected either way, but move one at a time, loop through them. So this will empty it back out. That way when we start adding them again next frame essentially of the app here, then they will start with none in the list. We'll add the ones that are being touched. Those will get shown. The other ones will get hidden. That's hopefully how this is going to go. We do need to reset the reset button. Get the hard fault crash worked out. Okay. Blazing. There we go. So circle, another circle, another circle, another circle. That's the last circle. And if I move my fingers around, they'll follow, they'll follow them around. If I kind of like get rid of this one and put this one, then that one becomes red. They kind of track which one is which, and they'll now disappear when I let go, except for not that one for some reason, huh? Interesting. But it thinks it's being touched still? Or no? Been off by one error? Interesting, this fades back in as the screen like sort of decays or whatever. Huh. Are we off by one on the can make this redraw. Again. Huh. If for whatever reason that last one there doesn't if I take all these up now, we have this one. 4 is the last one. That and it stays behind. Be off by one error, right? Got covered up. That's pretty good. Got for a bit. Oh, well, yeah, range 4. We actually want range 5, right? Basically, I have five touch slots, which this thing, I think it actually handles up to 10, but I'm not going to necessarily try to push it all the way to 10 to start with. Save, right, we'll refresh this by pressing reset. Hopefully, knock on wood. That was me knocking on the wood. We won't freeze up my computer. Sometimes, like basically every time I plug in a USB device, there is a small chance that my computer locks up. And resetting this tablet counts as that chance. And so like sometimes I will reset this tablet and my computer will lock up. That's actually what happened on the at the end of my stream the other day. And these are actually pretty snappy. I'm pretty impressed with how well these things like follow you around, you know? I could still go bigger, I think. Initially, I was like, why don't I make them about the same size as your finger? And it was helpful for them to be about the same size as your finger to work out the XY. I also tweaked the XY coordinates here to get them to line up with the display. I tweaked the scale that we found inside of the Focal Touch library. I think we may eventually need to provide a way for the user to set the calibration. We have calibration for the resistive touchscreens. C. Grover made us a really nice calibrator script for those. Might eventually be cool to have a similar type of calibration script for these capacitive touchscreens, and you know, be able to use it the same way. Like you touch the corners, and then it kind of like saves the scale values. This one is extra weird because this whole region out here is part of the touchscreen technically, but obviously not part of the visible screen. So like previously this was accounted for with the scaling factor, and I've kind of undone the scaling factor to make it so that this is, you know, now it like keeps picking up touch events over here, and technically we can see the edge of the ball there. Like we are, you know, we are over there, we are drawing it over there, but that's of course not on the screen where we can see it. Eventually we'll probably make a library maybe for this Crestron tablet as well. I know there's not going to be very many of these things out in the world, but for the folks that do get them, it might be nice to have a library that, you know, has like easy access to these buttons or something. You know, maybe you can poll and just, it'll tell you if these have been pressed. You can handle it in your app. I do find it strange that there's no enter. It's kind of like X, which I assume is like back or cancel or, you know, close or something. There's left, right, and then up, down. There's like navigation, but no enter, which is kind of odd. From like the original product design. Obviously, we don't necessarily care that much what the original ones are. We did get our off by 1 fixed. Let's make this bigger. I think, I don't know, what is 60? 60 is too big? Okay, well, we'll have to reset as well. I think I'll 3 this hand and 2 this hand is probably a good way to do it. I have a somewhere, but I have no idea where it would be. I had a capacitive stylus at one point. No idea where that would be. I do think I want to make a game where the game spawns all these colored circles and you have to touch them to like pop them. And it spawns more and more, and then like if you don't touch them fast enough, you lose. So you kind of have to like, keep tapping. I think there's games like that, but I don't know of a CircuitPython one. This capacitive touchscreen is really nice for that kind of game because you don't really have to press very hard. You can like very quickly bounce around, which like resistive screens, you can't really do that quite as much because you need to really push into it more. You need to give it some more pressure to get it to trigger. These just trigger at the slightest touch. I think that'll be a fun game that we can make for this tablet. This does seem to be working though. Interesting like that. You can see the way it's reusing the IDs. We're only ending up with 2 colors because I only have 2 down at a time. Oh, I got 1 green in there. But of course, if I push all 3 down, then we do get the next color. This is really kind of fun to play with. The next one will cause a bug, yeah. One more finger down gives you a index out of bounds. I think it tries to... It's trying to access stuff inside these. Maybe we should catch that. Just ignore it. Try this stuff. Accept index error. Pass. Or the index error. Okay, so theoretically, the 6th finger should not cause it to break now. It doesn't draw any circles, but also won't cause it to break. Theoretically, we could handle that. Should we go up to 10? 10. No, we could go like a bit differently. We could go this. I don't know how to write this as a, what do you call it inside there? Comprehension? I practice anyway. Does color wheel go to 360 or 255? Oh no, it doesn't say. Huh. I don't remember. I guess we could... Does REPL work? It does until we... I don't know. How do you print hex? Yeah, that is the same. 6 though. And then we want to count by 6/10. But then this is like, how do the actual comprehension? So this would be like, is that how that works? IDE is happy. Problem with this, print colors, this is not going to show me, it's going to show me ints. Now our colors would have 10. The rest of the program should work fine. They'll just have 5 different colors now. If I understand right. So I'll reset this. Code that time. Oh no, it crashed. Don't want to have it print that stuff. Or something. We got the first 4, which is weird. There we go. Made it through them. Okay, I don't know what colors those are. Surprise. Okay, we got red still. Oh, got a lot of greens. Huh. We got too many greens. Initial list. The third one is green. Are all 3 of these green? All 3 green, are they? And this would be the color picker. They are all green-ish. Maybe we should just count by... Oh, that one. Something must be wrong. And zeros, probably, or... Okay, something's weird. These can't, yeah, okay. That doesn't look right either. I don't know what's going on. These don't look right. FOO, FOO, that should be... not be red. This is like solid red almost. Okay, OF, I see. With the green, okay. Ah, yeah, I don't know. whatever, I don't know. I think we're getting this stuff. Let's into that bit of it does pretty much what I imagined. Basically have I have 11 actually. So the first one in 5 is in here. Here. We have one for our fingers. Get closer to being a rainbow. Probably turn off the lights. Okay, yeah, they are trending rainbowish. Is it too big if we do this? To make it easier to see them. Hands in the way. Okay, I could take the printout. Go by itself. Let's say quite a bit slower. Two's not bad. 3 starts to slow down at this size. Back to 5, but see if we can be slightly more rainbowy. I have 2 greens. I wish we didn't have 2 greens. I'm just gonna go back to the coded ones. Get the comprehension right though, so done that. Did I erase the commented one? We can do red. Blue. Green. Like I'm smaller too. Do the last one. One more for pink to wrap back around. Colors here. Yeah, there we go. Now we're rainbowy. Okay. I think that's probably good. Example. This definitely does the job of showing multi-touch working, showing the screen working, drawing stuff. Weird, because they were counting as like pickups. Basically, my finger was coming up just a bit. Just a tad big. 100. We the background as white. What that will make the fade out effect look like. Like height and width, or shader with high text Y. Height and width. XY probably will default to 0, 0. Just to pin that before the circles behind them. What it will look like on this display. Much brighter. Okay, there's the white. Here's our colors. Yeah, I do kind of like that better. The black. When it fades. Yeah, okay. It's not quite as noticeable. I think getting darker to the naked eye, but I don't know. I can still see the ghost of the circle, like right in here. You can't see it on the screen there, but I can see it. Can't see it coming through the camera, I should say, but I can see it with my eyes there. Cool. Yeah, I like the white better. I think this does a better job of hiding the weird fade out bit after I stop touching. I'll have to get the refresh looked into to figure out if we can make that not happen, but for now this does a much better job of hiding it, and I think these just look nicer too on the white background. Honestly, I think this looks nice. It's white there. And you know, I don't know, we're starting to see the limits of the refresh rate. Like these are kind of dragging behind a bit, but I mean that's pretty good for the 6 of these. You know, if you just have 1, it's pretty snappy. Even 2 is actually pretty snappy. And if you make these circles smaller, it will get snappier as well. This like totally depends on the number of pixels that you're changing. Possibly you could like maybe cheat with scale on the group. I don't know if that would actually increase the efficiency or not. Speed it can draw, but okay. This I think is good for now. This was the main thing I wanted to work on, was getting this touchscreen demo for this tablet ready to go. So I think I'm gonna head out for now. I'll be on. I'm gonna try to go on show and tell tomorrow. Hopefully we'll get a. Hopefully they'll either be done with the work on the house, or else hopefully we can get a little quiet window for me to go on show and tell tomorrow. I think K-Match is gonna go as well. We're gonna show these tablets and introduce a exciting news around the tablet. So tune in for that if you're interested. That'll be tomorrow night on the Adafruit Discord channel for show and tell. Yeah, I will be there, and I'll be hoping to show off this tablet, this project, this touch example that I've been working on tonight. So thanks for tuning in to this stream. If you want to get notified of any future streams, you can follow me over on the Twitch. That's probably the best way. But yeah, hope everybody has a good night. Thanks, and I will catch you all next time.